Number 11. We got, this is the axis of symmetry problem, right? So we've got to, and I've been teaching this two ways now. So an easy way and a little bit more advanced way, right? You guys should know that the first step is f prime of x is equal to 0, or the first derivative, right, is equal to 0. Because that's the instantaneous change is the slope, and the slope at 0 is either the highest point or the lowest point. Either the highest point or the lowest point. We know that this is smiling, so it's at the lowest point, right? But some of you have been having trouble with this derivative. And so I also been teaching you on the side, if you've been having trouble with this, the whole 2ax plus b equals 0. I mean, that's just the way the book teaches it, right? Either way is the same, because this is a, b, and c, right? And the way we find the derivative is we say 2 times 3, which is 6x, or 2 times a, which is 6x, right? Plus b, which is 18, okay, equals 0. Now this is great for just being able to do it. I just want to know how to do it. That's why they teach this. I teach this so that you understand what you're doing. You might not be ready for that though, and that's fine. I got to teach the multiple levels. So if this way works for you, this is the 2ax plus b equals 0, then do that. Okay? If you like using calculus, right? Knowing that you're using this higher level math, knowing that this is where you will be going if you're going to become a nurse or a doctor, pharmacist, or many things out there that is going to require you to take calculus to become, right? Then know that it's not hard. That's the key. That's why I'm teaching it, is to get this whole theory that calculus is too hard for me out of your head. It's not. It's just another level of math. So here it is. And now it's back to Algebra 1. Right? Solving. Sad math. Minus 18, 6x equals negative 18. Right? Divide by 6, x equals negative 3. And that's my axis of symmetry. Okay? My axis of symmetry. Okay? That's the first step. And the second step is probably the hardest step. Honestly. A lot of students have trouble with this step for some reason, but to me it's not the hardest step. The hardest step is this. F of the axis equals the vertex. And all that means is that I am plugging it in. I'm just plugging in. This is f of x is equal to 3x squared plus 18x minus 20, right? And what we found was that x is minus 3. So I'm just going to plug in minus 3, minus 3. Okay? And then I'm going to do the math. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. Okay? 3 times 9 is 27. Negative 3 times 18 is negative 54. These should be twice or 1/2 of each other. Okay? They are. I'm on the right path. I mean, this is really important right there. When this number becomes the opposite of one of these numbers, That's exactly what you want. Okay? In this case, it's the opposite of this number. And it is minus 27. So I know that I'm doing this correctly. Okay? And so now I've got f of negative 3 is equal to minus 47. Now that's a big number. Right? But we can just change our scales. That's all you have to do. Change the scale of the graph. So I got negative 3 and negative 47. Okay? And that is what we call our vertex. Right? So if we were to graph this right now, okay? I'm going to change this graph a little bit. For one, I know that this is in the third quadrant. Right? Remember quadrants. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And a negative negative is in the third quadrant, right? So I can graph this kind of like this, right? Whereas I've got 1, 2, 3, okay? And 47. Well, I'm going to have these same things, right? But instead of 40, I don't want to go down 47. So maybe 5, 10, 15, 20, right? So negative 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Okay? And 47, let's do this in green, right? So I'm going, okay, first I'm going to put in red the axis of symmetry. That's this guy right here. That's that paper fold. If I fold it right here, it's going to make this quadratic fold onto itself. Right? And then I'm going to put the vertex. Negative 3, 47. And it's just going to be a little higher than 50. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's our vertex. And we know it's going to go this direction and this direction. Now I don't know how yet. But that's step 3 and 4. So step 3, this should be the easiest one. Step 3 should be f of 0 equals c. And in this case, c is negative 20, right? And think about it. 0 times anything is 0. 0 times anything is 0. And 0 minus 0 is still 0. Right? So 0 minus 20 is still minus 20. So f of 0 is equal to negative 20. So I have a point here. 0, negative 20. Okay? And I need to graph that point. So let's call that a purple point, right? Okay, and so I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. Negative 20 is right there. Notice I'm really only putting the numbers that matter to me. Okay, so negative 20 right here, it comes out like that. Now I should be able to fold this over, right? So how far over is this line? Is this point going to be? How far over am I going to come? If they're symmetrical.
3.
Yeah. If I'm 3 this way, then I have to be 3 that way, right? So, yeah, I'm going to come out 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's negative 6. Now, what's our fourth step? And our fourth step, we're getting kind of crunched, but what am I going to do here? How about red? Our fourth step is f of 2 times the axis. Well, our axis is negative 3. So it's equal to c. So f of 2 times negative 3 is equal to negative 20, right? And so basically, f of negative 6 is equal to negative 20. So that means I have a point here at negative 6, negative 20. And so this is where my point should be. Is that correct? So it's coming out like that. Did I do that right? Yep. Okay. Now, I should check it just to make sure. I mean, that looks beautiful, right? But I need to check it and make sure. So I go, okay, 3 times -6 squared plus 18 times -6 minus 20. Now these should cancel. All right? They better cancel. So what is 6 times 6? That's 36, right? And 3 times 36, well 3 times 30 is 90, right? And 3 times 6 is 18. So 90 and 18 is 108, right? And then 6 times 18, well, it's going to be a minus. Minus and a plus is a minus. So far, so good. And then 60, because 6 times 10 is 60, and 6 times 8 is 48. So 60 and 48 is, okay, 108. So those cancel, and I'm left with this. And that's exactly what we wanted. So this is the graph. Okay? And that's the 4-step method. If you follow the steps, it works every time.